Guys, thanks for watching Keep Calm and Game On. In this episode, we're playing some more Darkest Depths on the PC. This game is in early access, so it's not finished, but it did just get an update / some patches. So we're going to hop in and see what's been changed. If you want to check out the change log for yourself, you can just click on this icon if you own the game, or you can just go to the main Steam page and it'll have a list on there. But we're just going to jump in and see how it goes. So we're going to go with New Game, and we're going to jump in. Now, as always, I'm just going to throw out ideas if I think of any, because that's how I do when I play these early access games. I just throw out ideas whenever I get them. So let's see here. Let's go over here, and let's change the default to just dark. I think dark's good. And then we got old school. Ooh, actually, comic book looks kind of nice. Bold is 6. Bold, and we got comic. Natural dark is 7. Actually, natural dark doesn't look too bad. Let's just go with natural dark for now. Actually, I'm just gonna go with dark. I want to go with that because I want to see the lens flares and everything. So it looks like we got some lens flares. This is a little bit brighter. Cool effect here. Really bright. We got really bright stuff on these crystals. Alright, just looking at everything. Alright, and I am streaming this live, so if anybody does happen to start watching, feel free to drop some comments in the chat. Looks like this has been cleaned up a little bit. Before there was like kind of a green light that just encapsulated almost the whole door. Now it's just on the crystal, and then you got this kind of cool logo in the middle. And I think, well, let me grab this gun real quick. Now, I believe that if you go through a door, it's green if you haven't been through it, and if you can't go through it or it's locked, it is red. So we'll see what happens here. Okay, so let me just take out all these baddies. Holy smokes. So it looks like some of the projectiles have been tweaked a little bit. They look a little bit different for this gun, at least. As well as the enemies. Looks like their projectiles have been tweaked as well. AI seems a little bit more aggressive, which is nice. Nice looking fireball there. And yeah, this, you can actually see it a bit better. Whereas before, it just kind of looked like a bubble. And then it was barely visible. But now this actually looks really cool. It just kind of bounces around. And you can it's definitely more visible. So I like that. Really like that, actually. Okay. How does it sound? Sound is still, I think, about the same. I don't know. It might be a little bit better. What is this? Let's grab that. The lens flare might be a little bit too much. I don't know. I mean, I have mixed thoughts about the lens flare. But it could just be the filter we're using. I feel like I'm in a J.J. Abrams movie. Okay, Adzaloni, how you doing, man? Okay, let's go through. Let's see. I want to see if this actually works. Okay, so we got a green door there. That's the one we came through. All right. I'm gonna try to pay attention to the door in the next room and see if it does anything different. Oh, goodness. Okay, this is new. Before, we didn't have these minions spawning in these kind of smaller corridors. I remember these would always be empty. But now there are actually some enemies spawning in here, which is a nice touch. I like that. The pot didn't break. I don't know. Did you guys see that? Might be a glitch. I thought I ran into a pot and I didn't hear a breaking sound. It just kind of disappeared. That might just been a glitch. I don't know. Okay, let's go through the door. Those animations I'm going to tweak to the secondary fire. I want to switch to the main weapon here. Let's see. Alright, alright. I like the way these look. These have been tweaked, I think. The health orbs. Okay, yeah, the pods still break. Oh, is that water? Guys, we got some water effects. I don't remember there being water here before. It looks like we got some liquid effects on these grates here, these like sewer grates. That's a nice effect there. Everything looks a little bit more polished. Again, I think the lens flare might be a little bit on the extreme. I mean, some things look all right, but then other things are kind of blown out. Like it doesn't quite look right. I mean, it's kind of a cool effect, but I don't know. It just lots of lens flare. It's kind of like if I compared it to a movie, it would be kind of like the Star Trek movie with just lens flare all over the place. But I do like well, I kind of like it. I mean, again, it just could be the filter we're using combined with the flare, the new flare, explosive. Okay, so let's see. But I do like how the shadows, there's a lot more shadows now. This is just going to be kind of a slow playthrough because I'm kind of just looking at everything, looking at the environments. Everything seems like it's cleaned up a bit, like the textures and everything seem to pop a little bit more. But let's continue. Again, I wasn't paying attention to the door. Is this, no, we haven't been through this door. So again, with the door thing, I know it's kind of confusing, but what I was thinking of initially is if you've been through the door, it would be green. And then the doors that you haven't entered yet would be red on top. Like those crystals would be red. So you could just kind of come through the door you've been through. Like you just come through here, and then you just kind of automatically scan scan the horizon, look for a red dot, red crystal, and you're like, okay, I haven't been through there yet. That one's red. That one's green. I've been through that door. So then you just kind of go through the red door. That's kind of the idea I had when I was thinking of that initial thoughts when I described it to the developer. I'm not sure it's quite there yet, but it does seem to be a little bit more polished because before these colors wouldn't change unless you got super close, and now they seem to kind of stay the same. Again, I'm going to try to pay attention when we go through the next door, but that's just something I noticed. Again, I like this water effect. Really like that effect. So let's see here. Let's see. I think we go through this door. Now that looks like a big boss. I'm not going to go there yet. I'm kind of looking at the way the gun looks a little bit more polished too. I don't know. Then the lens flare really hits that gun. Very extreme there. Is that my shadow? Is that my gun shadow? I think that is my gun shadow. Okay. Shadow of the gun. We have no body, but we have a gun shadow. Okay, let's go through here. Nope, that's the big boss again. Okay, so let's go this way. Oh yeah, we got a flashlight. I forgot about that. Forgot about the flashlight. My favorite mechanic in the game. I begged the developer to put this thing in, and I totally forgot about it until just now. Okay. So we got... Let's see. Okay. And apparently the enemies are a little bit... There should be like, I think, 3 different colors. So keep an eye out, guys. What color is this? This is kind of like a... Is that a red color? It's kind of hard to see. Let's see. Is that a green color? And they kind of... Oh, no. Okay, let me see. Let me grab this. I wanna pay attention to the enemy colors here. Let me grab this. Don't have enough. Okay. We do not have enough coins for that. Oh, God. Big boss time. Okay, we're gonna try to fight it. There we go. I think some of the big bosses got nerfed a little because they just had way too much health. I know the big head one did. The big head one did get nerfed. Oh, goodness. I have noticed that in these boss rooms, the sound gets, like, really overwhelming because there's just so many things happening at once. It's just kind of a lot of sound happening at once, especially with these ball things that shoot. So not a big fan of that, because everything just kind of blends together and it just, yeah. But we died. Let me try again. We're going to pay attention to the enemy color this time. So let's say here, let's build in the dungeon. I'm going to try a different filter. Let's go with, well, that's the default filter. Dark, we were playing on that. Old school, comic book. No, autumn is 4. Comic book is 5. Bold is 6. Natural dark is 7. And we got perfect dark is 8. Let's go with perfect dark. Let's see how that looks. And again, I love the flashlight. See, I'm thinking the lens flare is just maybe a little bit too extreme because it kind of it blows everything out, especially with the flashlight turned on. You kind of get that, I don't know, ghost effect. And then this, when the flashlight's on, it's like, I don't know. Not sure how I feel. Oh, whoa. I like this, though. We got a few other wall textures here. That's nice. I really like that. It's like where the light comes from initially is a little bit too blown out, but like where it casts on objects, that doesn't look too bad. But and the developer does know that he said he needs to tweak the kind of the lens flare a little bit. But for now, I mean, it works. Yeah, just observing what we have here. Okay, so let's continue. And this is the darkest filter you can get. So let's go through here and let's see what's up. Again, trying to look at the crystal. Okay. Not really sure what color. I think that's green. Kind of hard to see there. Okay. All right. That guy's... Oh, hello. Whoa. Okay, so these guys actually run at you a little bit. Before they didn't really run at you too much. All right. And I believe in the patch notes it said that the enemy death sounds were tweaked a little bit. I do notice a little bit more variation with that. A little more crunchy. I like the crunch. Again, I'm not exactly sure what these things do. I don't know if they just kind of home in on you. I know they kind of still go through the walls. I'm not sure if that's intentional or not. Can I take them out? I don't know if I can take those out. Yeah, but I would say the brightness / lens flare needs to be tweaked a little bit, because especially with the flashlight on, it's like it really blows out the white there. And it's like too bright there, but then when you turn it off, you can't see, especially on the dark mode. But you know, all that can be tweaked. Still fun gameplay, and that's the main thing you want to get, is the gameplay done. You gotta have the gameplay be fun before anything else. Everything else can be tweaked, but you gotta have the gameplay be number one. I'm going to die. That was kind of cool. Have the death animations been tweaked too? They feel like they may have been tweaked a little bit. Okay, let's see if we get that cool looking crystal. Alright. Oh, we got some poison. Okay. And I'm going to die. This looks like a new room. I haven't been in a room like this before, I don't think. This might be a little bit newer. Okay, but let's keep oh, and I died. Okay. Try again. That ticking time bomb thing got me. Okay, oh, let's grab that. And let's change... let's just go with, comic book? We'll try the comic book one. Alright, just kind of looking at everything. I just like looking at the environments. Alright, let's try to pay attention to the crystals, guys. You see any red crystals? I'm stuck. Okay, here we go. Let me just kill these guys real quick. Gotcha! Alright. You see any red crystals above a door? I want to find a door and I want to check this out. Wait, what is this? Those kind of charge you. Interesting. I don't know if that worked entirely the way it was supposed to, but I don't remember seeing any of those enemy types before. Okay, let's go to this door. I think there should be a door over here. So, some stuff has definitely been changed because there's obviously a spawner right here. And then there's a spawner down there, but it feels like less enemies are spawning in. So that may have been tweaked a little. Because before they were just like non-stop spawning until you took these things out. But now it seems to be a little bit more controlled. I don't know. Leveled up. Again, I'm trying to find a door. I do like this. Wait, no, that's a jumpy thing. Okay. I do like the crunch sound effect. I can't really... Well, let me look at these enemies. I like the glowing eyes. I'm trying to figure out if that's... what color that is. Because I think there's a couple different colors. I'm trying to... These might all be the same color. I don't know. Well, let's take this out. Gotcha! Okay, we gotta find a door, because I really want to check. Now, see that door? Okay, so now I'm confused, because before, I don't think you could go through a door unless you killed all of the enemy spawn towers. But that door just let me walk through. But I think there's still a spawn tower up there that we haven't killed, so I don't know if you have to kill the spawn towers in order to get through the doors now, or if that's completely optional. So I'm not sure. Because I've been suggesting this for a while, but I always wanted it to be so you have to kill every enemy in the area before the doors would unlock and you'd be able to go onto the next room. Because that's how most of these games work, how most of these roguelikes work. The doors don't unlock, and you can't progress until you kill every single enemy in the room. And I was really kind of pushing for that. And then I think it used to be that you had to take out these enemy spawners before the doors would open, which was kind of a similar thing, I guess, because you have to take something out for a door to open. But now it just seems like you can just walk through the door without having to take these out, unless this is just a special kind of room, or it might be a glitch. I don't know. But I think before this patch, you had to take out all of the spawners before the doors open. Unless I'm just imagining it. I haven't played this in a couple days, so I don't know. I might just have forgotten. But it looks like you can just walk through a door now. And these don't seem to be changing color, so I'm not sure. I'll have to ask the developer. If you're watching this, man, let me know in the Discord or drop a comment down below, because I'm not sure. So I'm gonna have to go back and read the patch notes, but I haven't seen a red crystal yet. So maybe they just all stay green. Maybe he gave up on that idea of them changing color as you went through. I'm not sure. I'll have to get some info from that, but a couple different enemies here. These guys look a little bit bigger. did level up. Is there an enemy spawner in here? Oh, what is this? Oh, these guys look a little bit different. What do we got? What do we got here? I don't think I've ever fought these guys before. I came across some guys that I just saw the silhouette of them looking different. I didn't get a good look at them, but is there a spawner somewhere that I'm missing? This might be a room with no spawner. Let's see. I'm gonna try to kill all the enemies anyway. See, there's still enemies, but the door opens, so yeah, I'm not sure. This is kind of new, I think, over a doorway. That's kind of a new archway type thing. Little sniper dudes. Take those guys out. So I don't remember seeing those before. Those kind of wall bricks where enemies could stand. Okay, so that looks like it's new. Archways, again, I think that's new as well. Yeah, I don't remember seeing a room like this before. Then you got this cool water effect. Kind of like there's a little bit of water running through here. Okay. I will say that I'm not sure if the developer was a fan of like having the green color kind of envelop the door like it kind of was, because it was kind of all in this area. I kind of like the effect, but at the very least maybe have this crystal glow a bit more, because I don't know, I kind of like the green effect. Or maybe have some torches beside each doorway. I mean, I'm just nitpicking here, but I kind of did like the way that big green light kind of illuminated the doors. That looked really cool. But it did kind of go through the ceiling. It kind of cut through the ceiling and stuff. So it didn't look perfect, but I did kind of like how it illuminated the doors a little bit. Again, I haven't seen any red crystals, so I'm not sure how that works. Wait, okay, they did change. There is a red crystal. All right, can I go through the door? Nope. But there is a red crystal now. Not super visible, but it is there. But then this is the door I came through, and that crystal's red as well, so... And that one's red too. Alright. Needs more energy. Then we got this guy, which is... Looks like he's a little bit bigger. I don't know if he's a different color, though. Like, can you tell a difference in the color? Like, I remember suggesting, like green enemies, red enemies, and I think blue enemies. And I was kind of hoping those would, like, really pop. Like, they'd be, like, really red, really blue. But, I don't know. Maybe it's a tint of a different color? They kind of look samey, but I'm not sure. It's kind of hard to tell. I don't know. Maybe we haven't came across any different colored enemies yet. Maybe that's further down. There do seem to be a little bit of variation with like the size of the enemies. Oh, can I grab this? Can I buy this? I think I can. Alright. Difficulty. Well, that up their difficulty. See, again, I'm not sure what door I came through because all the crystals are the same color. See, the effect I was hoping for is like, if it's a green crystal, that means you've already gone through that room. You've already been through here. And then you just kind of look around for the red crystal and you'd be like, okay, this one's red, that one's green, so I've been through there, I've been through here, this one's red, I need to go through there still. And see, that's kind of the effect I was hoping for because there's not a mini-map yet, and I don't know if there's going to be one anytime soon. So the whole idea behind of my suggestion for the crystals was kind of to help guide the player. But we're kind of running into the same predicament as before because they're all green. So it's like, you know, if they're all green, which one have I been through? Whereas if the green ones would be the rooms that you've already been in, the red ones would be the ones that you haven't been in. That's kind of the effect I was hoping for, but it's still kind of a cool effect. But yeah, I don't know. Okay, I think there's enemies in here. Whoa, whoa, okay. This guy, I think I've came across this guy maybe a couple times before. Maybe this is like a mini boss. Okay, I kind of like this mini boss. It was the only enemy in the room. Yeah, I think that was kind of like a mini boss. I like that. That was kind of cool. The torches. Wait, did he change the color of the torches? Were they always this color? I don't know if they were always that color. Maybe the color of the torches changed, guys. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, let's continue onward. Still, I'm gonna try to keep my eye out for the variation with the colors. I think that guy might have been a little bit red. It's hard to tell. Grab that health. Also, maybe a sound effect for when you pick up the health. Maybe like a little like, you know, maybe that sound when your health goes up. You know, something to acknowledge that something happened. I mean, you can see it, I guess, your health go up, but just having maybe like just a slight sound like, bzz, you know, something kind of like something being filled up. So you'd kind of, I don't know, just something that would, I think, add to the health potions. Just that little sound of them going up. But then again, that might get annoying too, so I don't know. So maybe that's not the best idea, but... And with all these sound effects, these gun sound effects, you might not even be able to hear that sound. But I do think it might help a little. A little sound cue whenever your health goes up. Energy has gone up by 2. Okay. That poison, that is poison, I believe. Seeing with the new lighting effect, like with everything kind of ramped up with the lens flare, it's kind of hard to tell that this is poison. It just kind of looks like it's kind of a greenish light. But that just might be because we're on the comic book filter. So it's hard to say, but I don't know. Oh, did he tweak the fire? The fire looks a little bit like there's maybe a couple more effects in there. Like some, I actually saw some sparks. Fire looks a little bit better. I don't know if that's been tweaked. Okay, well, let's go through this door. This might be a boss room. I don't know. Yep, looks like we got a boss room. The seer. Okay, so let me just take this guy out. Honestly, I think all the bosses need to be tweaked a little bit. I think, like, they need to have half as much health. Because these boss battles just kind of drag on a little bit. Like, it feels bullet spongy. Like, you just keep pumping ammo into it, and it's slowly going down. I don't know if this will do more damage. But it feels like it just needs to, like, all the bosses need to have just less health. Because, like, I think it kind of slows down the gameplay when it takes so long to kill one of these guys. Where it should just be a little faster. I mean, some people might like it, so I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying everybody hates the length of the boss battles, but I feel like it just kind of slows everything down. And I'll be honest, I kind of avoid the boss rooms whenever I can because they just take forever to kill. And I usually end up dying in the boss rooms. So I did suggest maybe only having a boss every like 3 levels. And I think eventually the dev is going to change it so like after you defeat a boss, like a splash screen will come up and it will kind of show how many enemies you killed and, you know, how many bullets you fired, so on and so forth. And you hit the continue button and it will like say level 2 and like spawn you back on the starting room, and you'll kind of start the next level, the next phase. But he doesn't want to do that until he fixes some other things. So eventually that might happen. But I just feel like these boss battles just last way too long. And I think the boss's health needs to be cut like in half. Or maybe have 1/3 as much health, because they just kind of... Again, this is just my opinion. Like, other people might think they're perfect length, but I just think they go on for a little bit too long. And then I always end up dying during them. So, see, again, I died. So I usually just avoid the boss rooms because I know they're going to take forever. And I know that there's a 90% chance I'm just going to die during them. And that'll end my run. So whenever I see a boss, I kind of just head in the other direction, hoping there's a different door. We're going to try it again. We're going to try it again. Building dungeon. Is building it. I'm just kind of looking at the lens flare from different directions. Different directions. It would be kind of cool if instead of just this light being on one side, like if it was on both sides, that might add a little bit more light. Instead of light just coming and casting on this side, it would also cast on the opposite side, and it might give certain levels a little bit more light. But yeah, I think the lens flare needs to be turned down just a little bit. It needs to be tweaked just a little. And maybe just add some more elements that will cast light. Because I really like how things cast the light, because it looks really cool when the light hits objects. But I feel like there needs to be just more things in the level that will do that. Like, these don't really seem like they're casting light on anything. Like, they don't really seem like they're illuminating anything. They're just kind of a lens flare there. I mean, I guess they do a little. I mean, they don't really look like they're. Let me try to go to the dark one. Let me see here. Just experimenting a little bit. Like, see these crystals? They're just like what's underneath it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you wouldn't even be able to tell what's underneath it. They're obviously, there's rocks and stuff by it, but that's not being illuminated at all. It's just, you're only seeing the crystals. They're not casting any light. They're just being illuminated themselves. So I think that needs to be tweaked. Because like this stuff, there's light, but then it casts light on other things. These don't. They just kind of sit there and lens flare. But I like how this looks. Again, just a little bit too much of the lens flare there. And the developer does know he needs to kind of mess around with the light, but that's just some nitpicking there. Let's continue onward. But I feel like maybe the crystal needs to just have a little bit more light that casts down so you can actually see the outline of the door. Because, I mean, this is obviously the darkest mode there is. But even on some other modes, it was kind of hard to see the doorway. And they're cool looking doors, see? But, like, you could walk through this door and you wouldn't even know there was really a door there unless you have your light on. So either maybe put some torches on the side so it illuminates more, or bring back the effect so it kind of casts more of a color, a greenish color. I know it kind of cut through the ceiling. I actually liked the effect. I didn't like how it cut through the ceiling, though. But I did like how, like, the whole color illuminated the door. And now it's just kind of like that crystal that doesn't really cast any light from it. It just kind of glows itself. So if these crystals cast light, that would be a nice effect, but I think they're kind of the same crystals that these are. Kind of the same effect. And these aren't really casting light. But I think if they actually casted light, projected light out instead of just glowing themselves, I think that might fix the door problem as far as like illumination goes. But yeah, just throwing that out there. Were those some new enemies? Like, no, those weren't. I thought I saw some like flies or something. Now, I'm going to try to take out these enemies. Now, will the enemies keep spawning? I'm going to test this out. I think they will keep spawning. Just maybe not as fast as they used to. Maybe they won't keep spawning. Let me see here. No, he did keep spawning. Okay. Just, yeah, at a much slower rate, it seems like. Because I remember before they were just like, it would be super fast. Again, I would like if like these were only in certain rooms as opposed to like every room. And then they're just like, you know, every room having kind of a set amount of enemies, or like certain enemies would like spawn other enemies, but like just being able to kill all the enemies and then the door unlocks. Because like, I don't even think I have to kill that one. I can just walk through this door. Yep. So like I killed one of the towers, but there's still another tower. And it lets me go through the door. I don't know if that's intentional. I don't know if that's a glitch. But I think before, you could only go through a door if you killed all of them. But again, I'm not sure. See, in this crystal, that should be like casting a lot of light around it. Whereas it's just glowing right now. It doesn't have that cool effect I was hoping for. But... yeah. Again, not trying to sound negative. I just try to give feedback. Like if I was developing a game, I would want to hear these type of videos and critique, and so I can make it, you know, try to make it better. I would want somebody's honest opinion. I don't like to sugarcoat things. But I do think the gameplay is still fun. I think it's very fluid. I think it's definitely slowed down a little bit because the enemies don't spawn as much. But I honestly think if the spawn towers were only in certain rooms, and then the majority of the rooms, like 75% of the rooms were just rooms without the spawn towers, and they had a set amount of enemies, and then you'd have to take those enemies out in order to progress, and the doors would unlock after you killed every enemy. I think that would add a lot to the game, and it would make the player feel like he actually, you know, kind of had a mission. Like, you know, you're going through each one. Each room is its own separate challenge, and the only way to progress from that room to the next room is to kill every enemy. Whereas now it's just, you know, all I have to do is kill one spawn tower, walk through the door. I can pretty much ignore everybody else. And even before, even when you had to kill all the spawn towers, you could do that pretty quick and just ignore all the enemies and just go to the next door. Whereas if you had to take out every single enemy, it would feel like it was much more of a challenge. And I feel like it would really help with the pacing and really help, you know, because most roguelikes are like that, and I feel like most of them are like that for a reason, because it works and it gives you that sense of accomplishment. But yeah, I'm just throwing it out there, just give my 2 cents. It's like now it's a little bit more visible, but it's not on the darker filter. But I do kind of miss the green effect where it just kind of enveloped the whole door. I didn't like how it cut through the ceiling. But I did like how it kind of casted the whole door in light. But again, that can be changed. That can be fixed with just adding, you know, light to these things. Instead of just that glowing, it actually projects light. Let's see. Let's keep going. Let's continue onward. Are there any Are there any spawn towers in this room? Doesn't look like it. So this might be one of those rooms where you just have to kill the enemies in it. I don't even think you have to kill all the enemies. You can just walk through the next door. Yep. All right. Now I wasn't paying attention. Was the crystal red? Let's try to pay attention in the next room, guys. See any red crystals? No, I think we already went through this room. Okay. How about in here? Now, that's where we started. That's where we started. This is where we just came through. Okay, so crystals are red. Okay, so let's take out one of these. Took out one of them, and now, well, see now. See, sometimes you take out one and the door unlocks, and then sometimes you have to take out all of them. So, not very consistent. Let's continue onward.